Please be seated. There's this very popular commercial that you probably have all witnessed, whereby celebrities endorse a particular credit card company, and the line that they finish the commercial with is, "What's in your wallet?" You've all heard that commercial. What's in your wallet? The gospel today, if Jesus was here, he would be asking us, what's in your heart? This is not a story about the bad Pharisee, the good tax collector, because both of them are good people. The difference is that what stems from their heart is very different. There are some similarities to both of these individuals. First of all, they both go to the temple to pray. So that's a good thing. So they go to church to pray, they go to the temple to pray, but their differences change when they start to utter their prayers. The Pharisee puts himself in the center of the praying, where the tax collector puts God in the center. Both are praying about themselves. That's similar. But the focus is the tax collector recognizes he needs God's mercy. The Pharisee praises himself, whereas the tax collector praises God. Another similarity was they both are broken. They're broken men. The difference is how they approach their brokenness. The Pharisee honors himself. The tax collector honors God. What's in your heart? Jesus would say to us today. Both were broken, but one knew that he was broken. The tax collector. He was the one who recognized that he was a sinner. He couldn't even look up in his prayer. Yet he went home justified because he offered his brokenness. And by offering his brokenness, it was blessed. The Pharisee offers a scorecard. Look, I did this, I did that. I'm not like these guys. I pray, I offer my tithing. Look at me. Yet, the tax collector, who can't even look up to God, recognizes that he can't keep score. He can't keep score with God. He can't keep score because God is the one who gives us all that is good. Our relationship in faith is not about keeping score. It's about a journey of hearts, our hearts united to the heart of God. It's holding up our brokenness, showing to God we are nothing without God. We are nothing without His grace, His amazing grace. The Pharisee, of course, he relies on the scorecard and he believes that's what makes him holy. And, I've often, growing up in that culture of, you got to do all these things to become holy. We are already holy because we have been made in the image of the one who is the source of our holiness, God alone. We are holy. We become holier people when we offer our hearts, our brokenness to the Lord so that we may become a blessing for God, with God, and in God. As long as you remain or rely upon what you have done, there's no need for God. The Pharisee had no need for God. Look, I've done this. I'm not like these guys. I give 1/10. It's all about I. I often remember that little poem I was taught as a child about I is about illness because it starts with I. But wellness is about we. It's about us. And so the Pharisee chooses to remain dead or broken inside because he relies on his own grace, on his own power, on his own gifts. Jesus invites us in our journey to bear our brokenness so that it may become a blessing for others. Because when we bear our brokenness, God can bless us. Jesus is saying, stop keeping the score. Hold up the moments in your life that have caused you brokenness, your disappointments, your sadness, your hurts, your fears. Offer that up and recognize that I have it all, for God is all, and God is all that we need. I've often said to you that when I was a child, I was always reminded, despite what was going on in the world, mother, father would say, all is well, God is on the throne. All is well. God should be our mirror. God is the one who is our mirror, the one we should look to, not look to others to compare. Well, at least I'm not like that guy. God is the one that should be our rapid test, if I can use the language of the pandemic. The Lord, His word, His ways should be our rapid test to prove to us whether or not we test positive or negative for being in His grace, in His Spirit. If we keep counting the score, we will never recognize the grace and the power of God. The Pharisee believed he became holy because of what he did. The tax collector knew that his holiness came from the grace of God. And so if we are to boast, if we are to brag, let us brag about God. Let us brag about how God has blessed us, how God has nourished us, how God has strengthened us. Instead of talking how big the problems of our world are, let us brag about how big our God is. Every day, I would encourage you to begin your day somewhere, whether it's early morning or anywhere time during the day. Let's begin with this. God, you are great because, and fill in that blank every day. God, you are great because you have blessed us with the fall and the colors and the bounty of the harvest. That's one part of the prayer. The second part of the prayer is to tell someone else, Frank, John, Amanda, Bill, Mary, God is great because of the colors and the bounty of God. In other words, we give testimony when we speak of God's greatness. We just don't keep it to ourselves. God is great because. Every day, start with that. God, you are great because. And so, the question we should think about today that this gospel reminds us, not what's in your wallet. It's not about what's in your wallet that matters, but what's in your heart. Don't give the Lord a scorecard of your face, but let us give the Lord a vessel of His grace by giving back what he has given to us, by giving back his love that he has given to us. We are good because God loved us first. We are great because God created us so. We are fantastic because God has loved us so. My friends, as we now continue with the Eucharist, let us be mindful that it's not what's in our wallets. And it's not about comparing ourselves to others in our journey of faith. But it's really about holding up our brokenness and holding up each other. Because we're not here to see through each other. We're here to see each other through. May Jesus Christ be praised. Amen.